It's the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion for Friday, the 3rd of June. I'm Michael Groff. Pretty typical weather for this time of year, mostly clear sky, dry conditions, and yes, hot, and getting even hotter by the time we get toward the middle and latter part of next week. The potential of our first 110-degree day of the year, the first of many, I'm afraid. And there are a couple of interesting wrinkles in the forecast that we will get into as well. Now, before we do all that, it is Friday, so that means it's Photo Friday here, and that's where we take a look at some of the photos and or videos that you guys have submitted. First up, a couple of sunset pictures from the other night, courtesy of Beth in North Phoenix. We always love to see these. I really enjoy the colors that she captures in these pictures, the red, yellow, orange, red being my favorite colors. So anytime that's in there, gotta love it. And then Chris Martin has a picture from central Arizona up in the Ash Fork area, another sunset picture. And this one right here is breathtaking. And that is one thing we can always count on here in Arizona, despite the weather, hot, cold, dry, wet, doesn't matter. Gorgeous sunsets are always out there to be photographed. And that's why we do it. Photo Friday each and every week. You want to get involved, groffshow@gmail.com, my email address. That is groffshow@gmail.com for Photo Friday. I did see another email come in with some pictures just as I started recording, so we'll have those for you next week. All right, let's get into it here. Taking a look at the almanac from yesterday, 103 degrees the afternoon high, 73 the morning low, the normal high now up to 101, the normal low 75. And as we take a look outside right now at 8:20 a.m., mostly clear sky across the metro. We're sitting at 82 degrees already at Sky Harbor. Dew point at 30, relative humidity 15%. The winds are light and the barometer is rising. The upper air look shows high pressure still lingering around here across the southwest and the main storm track well to the north. We do have a fairly impressive upper low that's off the Pacific Northwest coast. And that feature may help to hold the ridge down just a little bit, so temperatures may not get as warm as they otherwise would. However, high pressure will ultimately win the battle by the time we get toward the middle and latter part of next week, as you'll see. Here's the watch warning map. We've got red flag warnings over parts of the Mojave Desert. Here in Maricopa County, we do not have an air quality alert. I know some of you have been asking about the air quality and why it's so bad. Well, the combination of dry conditions, no rain, and less wind lately to sweep out any particulates. So ozone and fine particulate matter continue to rise around here. And if you're listening to me this morning, it sounds like I went about 10 rounds with the champ, and that's because allergies and sneezing, it's been keeping me up since about 1 a.m. So yeah, I am in desperate need of a nap, and will do so after this video. And I know for many of you allergy sufferers, it's been a tough spring and early summer so far. Now, elsewhere, the big thing that jumps out at you here, those tropical storm warnings across central and south Florida, from near Tampa Bay to Sarasota, Fort Myers, Key West, Miami, West Palm Beach. Under the gun there for our potential tropical cyclone, which is likely to become Alex sometime today. And that will bring heavy rain and maybe some gusty winds and isolated tornadoes to parts of South Florida. We see that on the convective outlook as well, that marginal risk for severe storms for the southern tip of Florida. Other pockets of severe weather possible over much of the western plains states and into the Rockies, as well as sections of the southeast U.S. Speaking of the tropics, we have one wave out over the western Atlantic. That we're not going to worry about. It's falling apart, not going to develop. But then we have our potential tropical cyclone number 1. There it is, out over the Yucatan Channel and in the southeastern Gulf of Mexico. And that system is making a beeline for South Florida, somewhere expected to make landfall somewhere close to Fort Myers over the next 24 hours or so. And then it will race off to the east-northeast out into the Atlantic. Should not be a threat to the United States beyond that. This is probably not going to become a hurricane. The wind fields here across the eastern Gulf of Mexico and over Florida are very unfavorable for that. But this will be, again, a big rainmaker. We could see 6 to 10 inches of rain and that potential for some isolated tornadoes. All right, speaking of rainfall, let's take a look at that for our part of the world. Going out through Friday morning of next week, rain amounts in Phoenix, nothing. Statewide, not much, although there are a couple of splotches there that indicate that we could see maybe an isolated shower or thunderstorm across the higher terrain of our state. We'll take a look at why that is right now as we get to the models. Here we go. This is the GFS. It's the 06Z run, valid at 2 o'clock this afternoon. We've got a trough off the Pacific Northwest coast and hanging out over much of the North Pacific. A dry westerly flow here with a weakening ridge. So what it means for us down at the surface today, mostly sunny sky, maybe a few high clouds from time to time. High temperatures 100 to 104. Tonight, partly cloudy, overnight lows, upper 60s to upper 70s, and then tomorrow more of the same. High temperatures, upper 90s to about 103, pretty much the same deal on Sunday. Monday, we'll tack on a couple of degrees to our afternoon high as the trough gives way to ridging that's building along the west coast and over the Pacific Northwest. So high temperatures climb back toward 101 to 105. We'll add on another degree or so on Tuesday. Interesting thing here, though, as this ridge builds in, it slides a little bit to the southeast, and the center of this ridge now over the Great Basin and eventually settling over Utah, and that's going to turn the flow aloft around here more out of the east. Now, if this were July or August or early September, we'd be concerned about some monsoon moisture coming in. We really don't see that. However, models, at least a few of them, are keying in on an inverted trough developing over the Baja and maybe sliding north toward our area by early or middle next week, and that could bring in at least enough moisture for some widely scattered showers across parts of east central and southeast Arizona. Of course, pretty far out right now. We'll just have to see how this sets up, but with that ridge building in, despite the fact that we could see a small increase in moisture, temperatures are going to continue to rise, and really by Wednesday and especially Thursday of next week, high temperatures could be approaching, if not exceeding, 110 degrees here in Phoenix. Now, here's a week from today. This is Friday, the 10th of June. See that ridge sitting to the north of us. And again, in July and August, that's kind of a nice monsoon setup around here. So we could see at least a tiny bit of moisture sneaking in. Nothing for Phoenix, but maybe some isolated showers and storms over the higher terrain, the White Mountains and parts of southeast Arizona. High temperatures for us, though, around 110 plus. And then as we go out 10 days, this is Sunday the 12th. That ridge gets knocked out of here in favor of troughing well to the north of us and a westerly flow returns. So any moisture that would come in would get swept on out of here. It's a little bit too early in the season for any significant moisture taps, and high temperatures would back off several degrees if that verifies. As we look at rainfall for Phoenix going on through the 17th of June, and this is coming off of the GFS ensemble, you've got 31 members here, and about 10 or 11 of them try to introduce at least some very light precipitation during that period. But again, the probability that we'll see any measurable rain in Phoenix over this time is still in the very low single digits. We're not going to count on that. It's still a little too early in the season. In fact, it has never rained in Phoenix on June the 11th, believe it or not. So I don't think we're going to see that streak come to an end this year either. That just shows you how dry it generally is this time of year. All right, looking at temperatures off the national blend of models. What jumps out at you there? Yeah, here comes those 110 plus temperatures. Well, how about 110, 112, 113? Overnight lows, low to mid 80s. Ugh. All right, that is mercifully going to do it for the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion for today. My next video due back here on Monday morning. Of course, updates before that if necessary. If you enjoy these videos, then be sure to subscribe, like, share, click that notification bell, leave those comments, questions, and suggestions. Music fans, it's available 24/7, 365. I'm not talking about my voice, clearly. No, I'm referencing my streaming station. It's called KMGX. We play a ton of music, have a lot of fun while doing that. It is myself and the one and only Michelle involved in the programming and operation of that station. And, you do get to hear my voice, but it's from a time where it did not sound like this. And Michelle's voice always sounds much better than mine. So do check it out. If something sounds kind of crazy over there today, well, just blame me and the allergies. I got a lot of spilgus in my Connecticut. All right, thank you so much for watching. All of your continued support. It is so greatly appreciated. You guys be safe, stay cool, stay hydrated out there, take those allergy meds, and have yourselves a great Friday and a wonderful weekend.